We are here. It is Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Thank you for joining us on the show. This is going to be a good one. I am actually interested in the comments in this one because I started a bit of a conversation about the show this weekend, and I was like, I think the men will have some answers for me. And I have some comments on some silliness I have seen recently on the internet. But before we get into that, twins, how was your weekend?
Little weekend. Not long enough, like I always keep saying.
Facts.
Um, besides that, very chilled and relaxed and watched football.
I love that for you. Who's your team?
The Pittsburgh Steelers, the best NFL team in the world. So if you didn't know, now you know.
The Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. I will keep that noted. When's the last time they won a Super Bowl?
Hey. We ain't talking about
No,
that.
like it's a genuine question. Like when was
Oh,
last
oh,
the
yeah, it was a minute, 2008, a long time
Okay,
ago.
so that's not so bad. What's that? 16 years? 7, 8. Okay.
Being
Well,
trolled, y'all. She's trolling me, guys. She's trolling me. I know.
I am not. I was doing
Share,
was
subscribe,
doing
like,
a
share,
quick
subscribe.
math.
Being trolled. Got it.
I I was doing
To the
quick
best
math.
you know, I'm still around with my team.
Listen, you ride with your team. I ride with mine. I am a Raptors fan, and I happen to also be a Celtics fan because the Celtics were around before the Raptors were.
So,
And in terms of football, I'm a fan of whatever team my man's a fan of.
got it. Okay. That's a
So
good
I
answer.
don't.
That's a good answer. It's a
If
great answer.
my man's a 49ers fan, that's the team that I am a fan of. So we can enjoy it together. Anywho, my weekend was fairly low key. As you know, I'm moving. Yeah, I feel like I've been saying I'm moving, and I am moving. This weekend will be the official move. So next Tuesday, I will be in a new location, a new space, the whole thing. So it might look a little different, or it might not. I'll decide over the weekend what the space ends up looking like for this show, but I am looking forward to it. I feel like I'm exhausted already and it hasn't quite started. But yes, we're going to go into this topic, which is, I wanted to ask the question if dating and relationships have become a bit of an entitlement Olympics. And the reason I asked this question is there's a couple of things that sparked me this weekend while I was on the internet. One was a post I sent to you, and another one was actually one, interestingly, I saw this morning as I was planning this show. And I have a clip of it. I'm moving on up. Hey, Mr. He said, moving on up to the east side. I actually am moving. I'm in the east and I'm moving another part of the east. So that is so funny that I am actually moving to the east side and I'm over it, Mr. Like, again, I will maybe give you guys a little bit of a mini tour, but I hate moving and I hope I do not have to move unless it's into my marital home in the next few years because I am over it. Anywho, getting back to it, has dating become an entitlement Olympics? And I think I asked that question specifically because there was a post that someone posted. Clearly, they posted it. There was a post that someone put on Facebook that I sent to twins. And I'm going to read it. And I'm going to tell you the response that someone gave that I thought was spot on. And I think as women, sometimes we don't think about this side of it. So this was the post. So someone says, it's not a vacation if the man made you pay your half. She was actually asking a question because there was a question mark at the end. So I think she was meaning to ask, is it a vacation if the man makes you pay half? So this was a woman. Another woman responds to her and says, it's a vacation if you go on a trip with the man you actually like and he likes you too. The who's paying for ish combo only comes up for online discourse, broke people, and prostitutes.
Mm.
The delivery may have been a little harsh, but I got exactly what she was saying. Now, I read this to someone this weekend, and it was a male, and he said do women ever think about the fact that men are quote unquote bays too? You're not on a vacation by yourself. Like, I'm your bae, you're my bae. So is it only a vacation for the woman? Because if that's my babe, why am I not concerned that he's also enjoying himself on the vacation? Now I'm paraphrasing. It wasn't exactly the way he said it, but I got it, because I think a lot of the times we, as women, we can come off very entitled in how we date. And a lot of women, it's a very me, 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 me. And we don't think about the other side, because a vacation can't be a vacation if you're by yourself. So if you're on a vacation, that means you're with your bae. So why is the man with the bae and the woman not with her bae? So who cares who's paying whatever? It's a vacation. Twins, I see you want to say something.
I'll just make sure I cover all the bay. In my head, I kept hearing bay, 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 bay. So I'm sorry. Go ahead, continue.
So, but it is like, again, women call this a vacation, but the vacation is with two people. So why is the woman the only one on the vacation?
Okay, is that the question?
Well, it's a bit of a question.
So is the question, is the vacation designated for the woman only, or is it for the man and woman? Like,
the point the person made to me is the vacation is for two people. But as women, and Mr. I see you. I'm going to bring you to the stage shortly. But women see the vacation as just for themselves. They're the bae in vacation, not the man.
See, this one's tricky. So I don't know if we're courting. I don't know if we've been dating for some time period. It's really hard to say. So, for example, in my head, when I hear this scenario, is that me and you have been dating for a while, and I decided to take you on vacation. So let's say, for example, we go to Jamaica. I get us all inclusive resort, and we have a good time for the weekend or whatever it may be. So the question is being pulled up, is that who should pay, right? But if I'm taking you, that's kind of self-explanatory. I mean, if I'm taking you out on vacation, right? It's no different as me taking you out to eat for dinner, taking you out to the movies. Only difference is we go on vacations. So what's the difference?
So are you to the point of the woman? Because that was her question. So that is the actual question. She's asking, is it a vacation if the man made you pay your half? Is it still a vacation?
Okay. So if you have to pay, then it's a regular vacation. That's how I look at it. But if I'm paying for everything, it's going to be a bae vacation.
That's an interesting perspective. Let me see if Mr. is still here. Mr., I'm bringing you to the stage. Sir, welcome. Welcome back. Are you still with us? Did you say Wagwan?
Wagwan, my youths.
They're up on the gully side. So, what is your thoughts on this question? Is it a vacation if my man makes me pay half?
Yes. And I'll tell you why. I have two parents, and they used to go on vacations all the time, usually to Las Vegas or to Atlantic City. And they didn't do 50-50 like on everything, like split everything down the middle. They would take turns paying for stuff during this vacation. So it wasn't just a one-sided thing.
That was the point the person made to me this weekend. Basically that exact point. This is a vacation for both of us. So why are you the only, and you as in the women, why is the woman the only bae in this vacation, right? Why can't the man be bae as well? And they're both having the opportunity to treat each other. So for instance, if it is that it is an all-inclusive, so you take me to Jamaica, twins, and we're having a great time, but outside of the all-inclusives, there's things that need to be done. Maybe we want to go on excursions, right? Maybe we want to go off the resort because there's a club of the resort. You've paid for most of it. Is it so hard for me to be like, listen, I'm gonna pony up the 3 nights or 3 days or whatever we're doing, all of the activities I'm gonna pay for, and if we decide to go to a club, so maybe I pony up $600, but you spent $3,500, right? Now 50-50 to what Mr. said, but I'm still treating you on this vacation.
And I have a better question
Go ahead,
to add
Mr.
to that. Why are there so many women in these comments that have no desire to do something positive for their man?
Selfishness.
That's probably why a lot of them are single or not going on any type of vacation because they have that mentality. Because you understand, the people having this conversation are people who are not going vacation. It's their expectation, what they expect. Oh, if a guy take me out, he need to do X, Y, Z. But when was the last time you been on a trip? Oh, you haven't been on one. Okay, so you don't know what it looks like. Okay, got it. Mental note. So, I mean, sometimes we got to kind of step away from like we're having a real conversation on this show. So that's why it's called, your feelings, because we don't care about none of that stuff. In most scenarios, most case now is that, let's say, like, so based on my example I gave earlier, so I'm taking you out, whatever. In some cases, the women that I would deal with, even though I pay for the all-inclusive stuff for everything, if she want to do something different, say, hey, I'll pay for that. Okay. So she pays for that. Does it not make it a vacation no more because she paid for the snorkeling or something like that? Does that eliminate the whole vacation because she had to pay for that, what, $50 excursion?
Absolutely not. But that's the real conversation that we're having, right? And I think that's where it starts, where I started asking, is it become the entitlement Olympics in dating? Because I'm 44 years old. I, started dating in the 90s, right? My first boyfriend was like 1996, right? I've been married, been through the ringer, done it all. So for me, it's just kind of like, why is this even a question on Beyonce and Blue Ivy's internet? That was actually my first, like, I read it like 3 or 4 times and I was like, is this a real question on Blue Ivy's internet? The fact that why, if you have to pay half, it's a vacation, because to Royce Monroe's point, you're both bays, does it matter? Right? It's like, and I think it's, it's a conversation because Mr. I'm sure your parents were having a conversation about, when we're traveling, how does it work? You know what? Maybe I want to treat you. Maybe you want to treat, whatever the case might be, because you're in a relationship. But I think what was so interesting about the response that woman gave is, when you like someone, when you love someone, none of that matters.
That's true.
When a woman truly likes you, yes, we all want to be courted. Like, I love to be courted. I'm all about being courted. I like open doors. I like flowers. I like the whole thing. But I have no issues taking you and treating my man and saying, babe, tonight, let's do it. You get dressed. I got you. I've made the reservations. He might still drive, but I made the reservation. I'll put it in the GPS. This is where we go. We go. We have a nice night. I pay. We go off, and it's, woo-hoo, patty woo-ha time when we get home, right? But that's my man. But if I don't like you, I'm not doing any of that. It is about me, because you have the pleasure of being in my company. That's because I don't like you. So women need to be real. These questions are only for men they don't like. As I am doing that, I'm going to put it up here. Royce Monroe is making some commentary. But Mr. Any thoughts about that? Is he still with us? Going once, going twice. I will read the comment as it come up. right? That's both people being bays, not just one person being the bay. That's from Royce Monroe. He also has another comment that I'm waiting to come up because the TV in front of me is very, very slow. Can't read it off my phone, but it says, but if it said this trip is for you specifically, a bay trip dedicated to that person. Got that. And Mr. Mister said his signal is starting to go in and out. I appreciate you coming on, Mr. Mister, and sharing your point of view. Okay, so that's one aspect of dating entitlement. I then saw this clip earlier today that actually outraged me a little bit. And it was a group of women talking, and I actually felt my blood boil a little bit, to the point where when I went grocery shopping today, I actually have my receipts ready for this conversation we're about to have based on this clip. So here we go again. It's a group of women talking about their expectations when dating. Here we go.
So he knows I'm going to lunch.
He knows you're
He
going
knows
to
my
lunch.
vibe. He knows how I like to move, and he only sent $30.
I'm not gonna bend over backward for a man that is just sending whatever he can. But if I'm talking
Yeah.
to him next time I'm out, and he says, "Oh, you need something for lunch," I'm gonna tell him it's okay. Somebody already sent me $100.
Okay. If we're being completely honest, right here, right now, we've all eaten lunch for $30.
Yes.
Let's start 100%.
Wait,
Cute little cafe spot, baby.
I'm
You
gonna
get lunch for
I'm gonna
$17.99.
snap us and get something popping, but
We're not saying that we're ungrateful.
Right.
Food is food on the table. However, you know what the standard is.
Correct.
Me in that situation, handling it with grace. Thank you so much, baby. I'm so
Yes.
appreciative. I'm gonna still take a picture of that bill and I'm gonna send it to him. Thank you for the 30. That was the tip.
Also, men, if you know that you cannot give $30 or if it's hard for you to give, then you need to date within
Don't
your...
date. Do
You
not
can
date.
date. No, you can.
Do not date.
But date with the woman that, number
not
one,
date.
does not have that expectation, or number two, it's in that range.
Twins, I'm gonna go to you first. Thoughts?
I mean, how y'all say it? If you broke, just say it. ain't that how y'all let it say it? If you're broke, just say it, right?
I've never said such things. But yeah.
Yeah.
Continue.
I mean, $30. I can do a lot for $30.
You
Listen.
hold that. I've got my grocery receipt. So I went to the store earlier and I picked up a few things. So the store I went to is called Farm Boy. It's the equivalent of, say, a Trader Joe's, right?
Okay.
So think Trader Joe's. And I'm going to tell you what I bought, and I'm going to give you the total, and I'm going to give you the conversion in US dollars, because clearly I'm in Canada. So I bought some breakfast croissants, some nice fresh croissants. I bought watermelon slices, actual watermelon, people, the fruit. I brought romaine hearts to make my Caesar salad. I can either make 3 large Caesar salads or 6 medium-sized Caesar salads. I bought fresh Parmesan cheese shredded. I bought golden berries. I bought broccoli. I bought a strip loin steak. I bought these huge jumbo shrimp. And I also, so that's all the groceries I bought. So the total was, in Canadian, $48.80. And the conversion of that is $36.35 US dollars. For $6 more than that woman got, I got stuff that is a meal for 2 or 3 days. Again, these salads are 3 big salads, so I can have it for lunch, dinner, and another lunch, or mini salads for the rest of the week. And I got a steak, a nice thick strip loin steak, and enough shrimp to make about 3 meals. So the reason why these conversations piss me off is because these women speak as if they are the representation of most, and they're not. They're just the loudest ones that are being amplified on the internet. They are. Because I don't know any woman, if a man sends them $30 for lunch, I went to Subway today. I took a nice 2-kilometer walk back and forth. I went to Subway. I brought my Subway coupon. because I got some coupons in the mail. I bought me a 6-inch meatball sub, and I bought me 3 cookies. And it was $8. I want to say it was like, let's call it $9. Let's call it $9 Canadian, which would be the equivalent of $6.70 United States dollars. So realistically, that $30 could have paid 4 meals for me. What are we talking about? But then this amplification of those voices happen, and men start having conversations like, you see these women, but men, I'm telling you, that is not, at least I can say from where I sit, a representation of the conversations that I'm having with the women in my circle, or conversations I hear from women in other circles.
Got it.
Okay, Royce Monroe has a tip. He said his tip is blah, 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 blah. Slip the money in the bag. See if she mentioned, hold on. How about I wait till it comes up on my screen? Slip the money in her bag. I'm assuming he's saying in her bag. See if she mentioned it. If she do, she's a keeper. And if she, I don't know what the rest of that was. I guess it says if she doesn't, then she's not. And Mr. and Mr. says that meatball joint be hitting different. Listen, I had not gone to Subway in a long time. I went because I had coupons. I have coupons. And so when I get coupons, I feel obliged to use the coupons, because most of these things I would never purchase regular price, because I don't like to buy things regular price. But that meatball sub did hit hard, and it was $4.99 with my coupon, and I was able to pick up 3 cookies. It was fantastic. So I don't like these conversations, because it starts being skewed that that's the majority of women. However, I am going to ask you men, because I see some of you in the chat, and twins. Is that more of a reality of what's happening? And is my reality maybe a little bit skewed? Are you feeling like dating has become a bit of an entitlement sport in your experience? And Mr. Royce Monroe and the rest of you in the chat, I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, I mean, dating it is definitely turned to a money pit, to where every time I turn around, they're asking for money, for whatever it may be. But I haven't had that conversation yet where somebody asked me for money for lunch and I sent $30 and now it wasn't enough. So I can't relate to this conversation because I haven't seen it, period, throughout my whole career of dating. So it's weird to see it now. So yeah.
Gentlemen in the chat, is this what you're experiencing? Are you experiencing women who feel so entitled to your hard-earned money? That's what I'm curious to be, because I feel like that is a bit of an entitlement. I am not in a position to tell a man how he should spend his money and how he should spend it on me. I find a man spending his money on me a luxury, and I'm quite happy. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And not the fake thank you, a genuine thank you, because you don't have to do it. Royce Monroe is saying women don't like nice guys or respect their money. Damn. We're going there. Jack Spade, come through, patty woo-ha. Okay. Jack Spade's got a comment that I'm waiting up, but I'm gonna hold on to Royce Monroe's comment. Is it that they don't like nice guys, or is it just any guy at this point who's willing to spend some money on these women? They feel like it's a bit of entitlement. I want to hear from you, gentlemen. I'm not the one out here dating women. So Jack Spade is saying fall 2024 is right around the corner. Everyone enjoy it to the fullest. I'm dead.
Cuff season.
Oh yes, cuffing. Yes, that's the whole thing, right?
Mm-hmm. It's that get the babe for the Thanksgiving, holiday, Christmas, all that time. Mm-hmm.
But I thought that the key was to break up with women around that time so you don't have to buy them gifts or take them over to your family.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know about cuffing.
Yeah, that's true as well. But there's still people that's trying to cuff somebody. So it's usually the women are the ones who's trying to cuff the guy.
Interesting. Okay. Mr. said, I've definitely been taken on a few food Food calls, I guess he's saying food calls in my day. Literally every date I've gone on never led to anything unless it was with a woman who was already my girlfriend. Interesting. That is interesting. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Back to again Royce Monroe's point. I'm gonna say women don't respect money that's not money they had to earn themselves. Is that a fair or a statement? Because I don't know if it's about nice guys, Royce Monroe. I think it's about if I did not need to earn that money myself, doesn't really matter to me. That's why that fast life, right? If you think about the fast life, the strippers, the drug dealers, the scammers, people who generally make fast money, they spend that money just as quickly because in their mind, the money's going to come back. Even more so when it's not your money to spend. So when it's not your money to spend, if you have an entitlement mindset going into dating, it's not my money, so why does it matter? I don't need to look at how much this piece of steak is. Yeah, the T-bone or the tomahawk costs $180. Who cares? I'm not calculating it coming out of my bank account, and therefore I'm going to order the tomahawk. I would never do that if I was paying for it, but since the man beside me is paying for it, I'm going to order the tomahawk. It's $180. I didn't have to calculate how long it took me to make $180. So I think to me, that's what it comes down to is if I'm not in a position where I'm the one who's paying for it, then yeah, I feel a bit of entitlement because again, let's go back to what those women said on the video. You know, we've all had $30 lunches and one woman named a spot that she goes to. Guess what? That spot is when she's spending her $30.
Mm-hmm.
Your $30. She's calling it tip money.
Yeah, $100 for lunch. That's ridiculous. I mean, because that's restaurant money right there. So
I showed you my grocery list. I have strip loin, I have strip loin steak and fresh Parmesan cheese and shrimps that I can make 3 different meals with, even with a meal for 2 with my daughter, including a truffle mac and cheese, which I'm going to make on Thursday. So I showed you my grocery list. Yes, they're $100 for lunch for yourself is crazy work.
crazy work. I
It's
honestly,
crazy work.
it is. It is more than likely you give them $100. They're only gonna spend 30 and use the other 100 to get more makeup done or get their nails and nails done.
That is what the extra money. I would almost have to agree with that. That is what the extra money is for because I don't think I've been anywhere like unless I'm courting a client, right? Because I'm in business development. Unless I'm courting a client, like I'm taking a client to lunch that we've lost. I'm trying to win their business back and I'm taking them somewhere. And maybe between the two of us, maybe it will come up to $100. I even doubt that. I think the meals, because there's lunch specials, the meal's probably going to be 60, 65 for 2 people that I'm courting a client. These women are not courting clients. They're not courting anybody. So why are you spending that money on a meal? But Jack Spade said women were all about the money back in my HBCU days, 83 to 87. The only difference is women have gone onto YouTube and blew the lid off their own facade. Ew. Thoughts, twins. He said facade.
Yeah. No comment on that statement.
Okay, Royce Monroe says, devil's advocate, nice guys are givers. It's always misunderstood women take kindness for weakness. Okay. I can see. I can see where you're going there. Waiting for a comment from Mr. Mister, where he says, I just did $70 for dinner for myself, and I'm waiting for the rest to come up because everything's moving. I just did $70 for dinner for myself at Fogo de Chao, and it was good too. I don't know something. Do you know Fogo de Chao? Now I'm gonna have to Google. Now I'm Googling Fogo de Chao. Is that like a Nobu?
I have no clue.
Oh. It's fancy. One's coming soon to Toronto. It says Toronto coming soon. So Fogo de Chao is supposed to be a really nice place. Okay. I think it seems like it's like is it like a Brazilian steakhouse? This is my curiosity getting the best of me, and now I'm stopping the show to do this. But it's a Brazilian steakhouse. I just learned that. Jack Spade says those buy one entree, get one free, same or lesser price coupons buys the same food the full paying customers are getting off the menu. Listen, I'm frugal. So thank you, Mr. Mister. I am definitely frugal. So I love a coupon. I love a Groupon. I'm all about it because I just don't like to spend unnecessary money because I'd rather spend it on experiences like a vacation because I like to go away. And Royce Monroe is saying, drop mic to Jack Spade. So gentlemen who are dating, I know Twins is a little bit different because he's coming out of a marriage for a long time. So this is not his forte. He hasn't really gone back into the dating sphere. But from what I'm hearing from you gentlemen is it seems like the answer to the question is yes. There is a bit of entitlement in dating. Oh, it's the same link, Mr. Mister. Can you click it again? Because it's the same link that Twins comes on. Click it again. And then let me know. If not, I'll have to go in and find it and drop it again. If you don't mind. Okay. Royce Monroe says you're tired. He said, wake up, Swin. We need you in the game. He said,
We're trying.
He said, wake up, Twin. We need you in the game for the men. LOL.
I'm here.
He said, you're not bringing your energy this week.
I'm just waiting for something good to say. I mean, waiting for a good question. Something. I don't know.
So bring up something good.
To me?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, based on the topic that we're talking about, it's I honestly have not met a woman, not even someone I'm dealing with, just of a friend of a friend or a coworker. I've not had that experience of seeing that where a woman says, "Oh, you only spend $30." Like I've seen that as a skit on TikTok, but I've actually seen that. Like, is this really a thing? Like, fellas, let me know. Are y'all really running into this problem for real? Where women are asking you? And for me personally, most women I've talked to can cook.
Oh, that part.
So, you know.
The thing about it is what it's seeming like, and Mr. Mister, I'm gonna put it again to see if it works, and I'm gonna pin it again just to see because I don't know why it would change. Click on the link. I'm gonna pin it right now and let me know if you can get back on. Replace pinned message. Yes. It seems to me that the women are not saying it to the men. They're just keying about it together, right? Because to the point of the women where she was like, to him, it's like, babe, thank you very much. I appreciate you. But she gonna be shady and, snap a picture of the check and talk about, hey, you paid for the tip, right? Like, it's one of those shady things, but she's not saying, hey, babe, don't send me $30. It wasn't enough. Because quite frankly, any man she says that to is going to say, well, okay, then I don't send you anything. I send you nothing. If $30 is not good enough for you to go on your lunch break, because you should be working, you should be an employed woman who only has an hour maybe for lunch. So where are you going where you're sitting down having $100 meals for lunchtime when they actually do have lunch specials because it's lunch time? Then he's just going to say, forget it. You're entitled. Mr. It seems you have heard of a booty call, but not a foodie call. It's this issue in dating where women go on dates with men just to get a free meal. There's an article all about it. I am aware of the foodie call. There was actually a lady, she's an Asian lady who talked about the fact that she didn't pay for groceries for a year because she just found a guy to go on a date with basically for every meal. So her grocery bill went to nothing. She was living in New York. There is an article. I forgot what her name is. And she talks about it. But I've heard about this. There are women who said that that's how they got through university, is going on foodie calls. Men would say, are you hungry? And they'd go and they'd get enough so that they could have leftovers for the next day. So they turn one meal into two. Listen, I've probably done a couple in my day. Mr. is back on. Back to the stage. You're back. It worked.
Can you hear me now?
Loud and
I
clear.
can.
Good. So
You
yes,
bring it
foodie
since
call.
Twins isn't bringing it tonight. Royce Monroe said Twins is not bringing it tonight. So come on, Mr. We need you.
So yeah, like I said, foodie calls. And it's so bad to the point where women are going on dates now and they're getting plates to go to feed their kids.
Ah, hold on. So you're taking a woman on a date, and are these women ordering separate meals for their kids, or they're ordering a big meal for themselves that they know they can't eat and bringing the leftovers for their kids?
First, not me, but other men. And second, separate meals for each individual kid and demanding that man pay for it.
Where are you hearing these stories?
From
Because I
other
am not
men,
at that part of the internet.
from other men talking about their dating mishaps. You know how, like, you asked me and Twins about some crazy stuff that's happened in our
Yes,
dating
yes.
experience. This is a common topic that comes up amongst men, both in real life and online. And you know, they're people, well, they're going on dates and they're demanding to get extra food to pay for their kids, and they're like, well, you're the man, you're supposed to pay for everything. They're like, but I don't even know your kids, and they're not even my kids. And it's this whole back and forth. It's crazy.
So the problem I have with that is that these men is like trying to be nice, because that's example of that's a prime example of a simp right there. At the end of the day, if I'm talking to a woman and we're on a date, me and her, and she want to start ordering food for her kids, I'm like, she can order what she want. That's a separate tab. I'm only gonna pay for you food that we eat. I don't care about your kids. I mean, respectfully, I don't care about them kids right now because it's not my kids, not my responsibility. So if you want to do that, I've been on plenty of dates, but I never had a woman try to demand to get extra food for her kids or whoever. I will shut that down in a heartbeat.
That's
So would I.
the part from sorry, Mr. That's the part from me that's the part from me, not for me. That's the part from me that I think is a little obnoxious. Have I been on dates and men have offered and said, "Hey, do you think your daughter would like something?" I have absolutely been on dates where men have offered, knowing that I have a daughter, especially when she was younger. And there's sometimes I've accepted the offer and called my daughter, and she's like, "Yeah, mommy, where are you? You know, I'd like this. Thank you very much. I appreciate it." But I have never thought to, on that date, order my own meal, order a meal to go, and then have the expectation that a man is paying for it. Because that's what I'm hearing you're saying. Men are saying that women are ordering the meal without any offer or even asking, with the expectation that the man's going to pay for it.
Pretty much.
Crazy. Okay, Royce Monroe say women laugh at men who pay big tickets without a hint of interest towards him. All right. They're saying big facts, Mr. Nobody talks about it, and he's talking about these foodie dates. And I'm gonna wait for Jack's Spade's comment to come up. But my thing is, Mr. Since you're on the side of the internet where these stories are being told, are these men going on second dates with these women? And how do you even spot a woman like that? Are they talking about that? So tell me the horror story, but what are you spotting a woman like that? How do you deal with a woman like that once it's happening and in the moment? Because Twins is saying that these men sound, whatever they, simps, the word that you guys use, that's kind of a simp behavior, but how are you correcting her, and how are you ensuring that it doesn't happen again? That would be my questions.
Well, I'll say
Hell
this.
no.
Go ahead.
To
Go
the
ahead.
no, no, no.
So
That's
Are
the
you
answer
seeing
to that
Jack's face
question.
comment? I
There's
was
there is no second date.
I would hope not.
so I think here's the problem that what's causing this type of conversation or these type of actions to happen. Unfortunately, there's men out there who are not getting any cat at all. It's called what it is. So what they're doing, they taking these girls out on dates just to get the opportunity to even sit at the table with some of these women to even have a conversation. And the women know that, and that's why they're taking advantage of these dudes. Just that simple. Just that
Yep.
simple. That's
Doing that.
and that's it right there. Like for example, I had a conversation with somebody recently that on the first date he trying to take this girl to Ruth Chris, right? On the first date. First time meeting her, talk to her, take her. And the problem with that is that one, he's setting the bar high. That's number one. Number two, no woman is going to say no to Ruth Chris. I don't care how ugly you are, whatever, because most
Oh,
men don't like spending their own money, right? So if guys going to take me out to eat
we don't.
somewhere nice like that, you're going to say yes, regardless
Yes,
if
we
the
are.
date is bad or good. You still going to go for the free meal.
I'm gonna go with 95% of the time we are going for the free meal.
Exactly. And once again, these are dudes. They go super high because they won't get rejected. See, the problem is we got a lot of men out there who don't got no backbone. So they spend extra money to compensate on their game. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. And then they get out there and then they're at the table eating. And guess what? She called her girlfriend up. She come to the table. Now you got two women at the table who's trying to order food. Like, you want to talk to me? If you want to be a boss, whatever, you got to treat me and my girl. And they're like, I'm not doing that. And they do it because they
Well,
are.
that's funny enough what Jack Spade is talking about. He's saying some of these women out here are bold with it. Some even want to play the brought myself a chaperone trick game also.
Yeah. Exactly. I just saw that too. But that's what it is. It's this comes to men with lack of confidence, lack of game, and trying to use spending money to try to get the cap. Just that simple. They're pretty much paying for it. Prostitution.
Oh
And
my
I
God.
agree with a lot of what you both said, but I would also say that another part of it is that a lot of men out here, they're buying into this expectation that they're supposed to be spending money on a woman, and the demands of the type of money they spend gradually just keep getting bigger and bigger and bolder and bolder.
But whose problem is that? Let me if a man is courting a woman, because let me tell you what I'm hearing. I filtered it through my female brain. I'm gonna tell you what I'm hearing. I'm hearing a man is courting a woman he feels is outside of his league, and therefore he's going to spend money to show her that he can afford her, despite the fact that she has no interest in him. So as the woman, as the woman, to your point, if I'm being invited to Ruth Chris, I'm gonna go. I enjoy a good steak. Ruth Chris has a good steak. If you tell me, well, let's go to opening night at Nobu in Toronto, I enjoy a Nobu. I've been in Vegas and Miami and in other cities, across the United States. So I do love me some Nobu. So I'm going to go to the new Nobu in Toronto because I want to go. I do. It's fun. It's great, good food. But is that my issue, or is that your issue to fix? Because you're spending money knowing that I may not like
This is what dating looks like in 2024. It's just that simple. So you gonna go on a date, spend the money, even though you don't care for the guy. Doesn't matter. It goes both ways. Where everybody's getting something right. Everybody's getting something out they want out of it. It's just that simple. The guy's getting companionship by going on a date with a girl that's outside his league to try to win her with his money. The girl's getting a free meal and probably food to pay for her kids or for her dude back at home. It's a win-win for everybody.
not her dude back at home.
That does happen too.
Thank you.
but also,
Okay. Go on.
but also, um, I have been fortunate enough to get to spend a lot of time with my grandmother before she, went to heaven. Um,
Amen.
and I distinctly remember her telling us about not well, telling us the grandkids and instructing us, like particularly the female ones. If you're going out on a date with a man, don't accept anything from him if you don't have any interest in him. She taught that to my mother and my aunt. She taught that to the grandkids as well. And that was just the culture, well, like 50 years ago. And we're far removed from that now.
That's true.
I was taught something similar. And by the way, Royce Monroe says you're up now. I don't know if you saw that comment. I put it up. It says you're awake now. He's awake now. So preach, Brody. I was taught something similar, and this is why, in I try not to do that. Have I been guilty of it? Yes, I have definitely been guilty of it. I'm not going to say it's you're innocent, but I don't tend to make it a habit that I'm going out with men just for the purpose of them buying me food, because my thing is, my most valuable resource is my time. And there's a lot of time that I have to invest to change around my schedule, get ready, put on makeup, do the whole thing, to sit and sit across from someone I may not actually enjoy their company. I can actually hang out with my friends at Two Twins Point. I know how to cook. And so that same steak and whatever else, I bought it. I can season it up over 2 days, marinate it, put it on the stove, and call it a day, right? So that's my biggest thing. But for a lot of women, they don't want that. And Royce Monroe says, and to Twins' point, it's added value to him just having eye candy. So it goes back to my question, though, right? We can sit here and complain about this entitlement in dating, but to Twins' point, we're both responsible, but it's almost like what I say about things like OnlyFans. I don't know many women who are subscribers of people's OnlyFans, right? If we were to look at a woman's OnlyFans, I'm going to go with 99.9% of her subscribers are men. So if men stop subscribing to OnlyFans and making hoes money, because that's what I hear, right? These thoughts are out here making money, and these thoughts are this, and then these women are coming emboldened on what's the little light skin and dark skin people that I'm sure. What are those two dark? Anyways, they bring a bunch of idiot girls who are OnlyFans girls and ask them questions they damn well know they don't know how to answer. What's that light skin, dark skin people them name? What's their show?
Kid and Play?
Not
Are you
Kid
talking
and
about
Play.
Fresh and Fit?
Yes, them people, them. So they bring these OnlyFans idiot girls on their shows and ask them questions and get mad at them. But at the same time, these women are now pulling in six figures because men are paying for pictures of their toes or their kitty cats or whatever it is that they're paying for. If men came collectively and said, we're going to shut that ish down, we're not going to pay for these OnlyFans girls, we're not going to go and blow a bag at a strip club, we're not going to take out these entitled ass women, we're going to make women earn their keep, what would happen? We'd have to earn our keep.
Yeah, and what's more disturbing about this is that most of those men that are subscribed to these OnlyFans are married men.
That
I
part.
don't remember if it was an independent study or if it was OnlyFans themselves, but one of the two, they did the analytics on it and they found that to be the case.
So is it, I'm going to go back and thank you, Mr. for that, because it comes down to it. Like I get that there has become a space online for men to complain about what us women are doing. This doesn't happen to be the space. This is a space where we have respectful discourse. And so respectfully from me, great that you have that space, but what's the solution? Because again, I am not the one who's going and blowing a bag at a strip club. I am not the one who's subscribing to OnlyFans. I am not on a monthly subscription for $19.99 to see anybody's patty woo-ha. Like, I'm not. But there are married men who are doing that. Think about Ashley Madison and how much money that Ashley Madison made from fake bots and all of these things. Again, if you watch the Ashley Madison on Netflix, the documentary, mostly married men, because it was a site for married men. So yes, I'm all about men sitting around and talking about their experience. But what I don't like is making it a complaint session and saying women are this, women are this, women are that, and we're all of these things. When in the reality, you're the contributing factor as to why women are that way. Stop taking out these thoughts. Stop taking out these OnlyFans girls. Stop doing all of that, and then you won't have an issue. But again, maybe I'm wrong, and I'm happy to be corrected. Hold on. To that point, Jack Spade said there's only 4 people I choose to speak to Ruth Chris: myself, my son, my mother, and my fiance/wife. Besides, Texas Roadhouse is just as good. Gentlemen, what are your thoughts on what I just stated?
I'll say this. I guess to get to a resolution to this scenario, right, is that this can go way back. Make it a little deep, but it's okay. But this will happen when you don't have fathers in the house raising the sons.
Oh.
Yeah, I took it all. I took it there. I'm sorry. Because honestly, it is these young boys, young men, you know what I'm saying, who I heard doing these type of activities. Now, there's some older guys doing that, but they sugar daddies, so they don't care about spending the money because they don't get what they want out of it. But they're not complaining about it neither. It's the young guys who's working long hours of work and blowing a check on the girl and get mad because they're not getting in return. Because all they're doing, they're paying for the cat. They're pretty much tricking themselves, hoping to get something from her, and they get mad when she don't give them nothing. Because every guy who complained about buying a girl food or she taking extra food away, they didn't end the night with her. If they didn't end the night with her, they would have said nothing. You would never have heard about the story because they got something out of it. But because they get nothing out of it, now they're complaining about it in the world. Now they want to put her cell phone out talking about, man, look at this girl, she's doing me dirty. Because she told you she ain't go home with you. She told you she's not attracted to you. Now your feelings hurt. So that's what it is. These young boys don't got no guidance. That's what it is.
Well,
you're awake now for real. You're awake, because that was a message. I'm going to clip it, amplify it. I might even pay to boost that message because that's exactly what it is. Those men on the corner of the internet talking about this and that, they didn't get any patty woo-ha at the end of the night, because if they did, this wouldn't even be a conversation because it's quid pro quo. I got what I wanted. She got what she wanted. We're good to go. But when one party gets something and the other party doesn't, the other party feels slighted, and that's what that is. You just solved the mystery of it all. Love that. Jack Spade. OnlyFans is no different than paying for a prostitute. His expectation has been met. Her expectations has been met, and after it's all and done, both parties walk away satisfied. That's basically what Twins just said.
Yeah, that's all it
is. If you're both walking away satisfied, you're good to go. Sorry, Mr. Did I cut you?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what I was gonna say though.
Sorry.
We
went on
his thing, and I was like, he's awake now. I dropped the mic like 4 times.
Yeah. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, but that's what it is. To chop it up, what I'm saying, no pun intended. But yeah, these young boys, they just, it's just sad. No game, no guidance. And I'm not mad at the women. I'm not mad at the women because it's the game. Women will do whatever us men allow them to do.
Facts.
So if a woman is okay with being taken all the time and giving nothing in return, getting food, why would I be mad at her for doing that? She getting food, for her kids. Hey, mom, she's doing it, right? She's hustling. I'm not mad at her, right? Same, no difference as the guy go out there, he mess with a girl and he get whatever he wants from the girl because you allow it. So it goes both ways. Once again, I'm gonna stop. Only time someone's complaining when the other person ain't getting nothing out of it. I'm done.
Listen, you just spoke a whole message, a chapter in a book. I might make that a chapter in my book and entitle it Twin Speaks. Um, okay. You just said a whole word and I think that is the reality. If you are going to allow me to continue to go out with you with nothing, just hey girl, because I have guys that have done that. Hey, are you around? I want to go for a drink or I want to go eat. Do you want to come? Sure. Oh, I get to, and they tell me to choose where I want to go? That. And there's nothing, you pick me up, you drop me off, and there is no expectations. I'm going 100% of the time. I go, unless I'm in a relationship, it's no go. But if I'm not in a relationship, that we are there, I am there. Go rack it up, call it a day with no expectation. Most women are not going to say no. It's just like most men are not going to say no if a woman is calling you after the clubs, talking about, hey, I'm going to come over at 3:00, no expectations. You get the patty woo-ha, take her to Pound Town, and she gets up, wipes herself with some baby wipes, and takes her ass home. And she's doing that every weekend, okay? You're not saying no to that. You don't have to put in any work. So we need to stop this and stop acting like, to Twin's point, it's not going both ways. You get what you want. I get what I want. We're good to go. I don't know no man who, if I called him at 2:30 in the morning after a few drinks with the girls or after even brunch, I'd call him at 2 p.m. After a Sunday brunch talking about, hey, had a few mimosas, want to come over. He didn't have to take me out. He didn't have to open my door. He didn't have to buy me a flower. He's going to say no. And then I just wipe myself up with the baby wipe and go home. He gonna ask me every Sunday when I'm going to brunch and what time I'm coming over.
Right.
The fuck? Just saying. Jack Spade, nothing wrong with spending a little, he said a little money on a woman. The rule should be pay what you can lay on the sidewalk and walk away from. If $20 is your limit, respect your limitation. Damn. $20 is going to buy you a couple of hot dogs. I mean, if that's what you got, then that's what you got.
They'll be
Royce
gourmet
Monroe,
hot dogs, though.
they be gourmet hot dogs. Oh, this is a good one. And I have seen this one. Royce Monroe is coming with it tonight. He said if she can't read the menu, she shouldn't be there. LOL. I have heard of stories like that where women could not pronounce what was in the menu and was embarrassing the person that she went on a date with. Women, we got to do better. The men are out here the men are telling what it is, ladies. Again, the Twins point, I'm going to ask all of you ladies who watch the show, who watch the replay, even the ones of you who don't like me, because there's a few of you. I had to tell somebody the other day that their parents should have swallowed them. There's some of our commenters, honestly, because I was in the mood that day. I had time. I had to tell a couple of people based on their comments. I'm like, your mother should have swallowed you. But I digress. I digress. But women, men, even those that don't like me, y'all like Twins, but I know you don't like me. Come on the show. We want to hear your opinion. We want to hear your thoughts because the men are coming here and they're spilling the tea. So ladies, don't let my voice be the only voice. Come talk to the men. Tell the men how you're feeling. This is a space to do it. Royce Monroe says basically screen and vet the company you keep.
I agree. I totally agree with that right there. And once you do the screening, if you're okay with it, then live with it. Live with the outcome.
Yep.
I couldn't agree more.
And I always say, being a good judge of character is an essential life skill.
That part. Because how many times can you get played in the same situation? Because again, the problem that I'm having with that side of the internet, and I'm not going to use the term that people use for the men on that side of the internet, because I don't believe in that term. But the thing about that side of the internet is the same story being told over and over again, but that is literally the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So why did you not learn from the first experience? Why did you not learn from the second experience, the third? Now you're on your fourth, fifth time telling almost the exact same story, and you want to evoke some kind of sympathy from me? What do they say? Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me, no, on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, that's on me. I've already seen the play. I should see the play coming, right? If you play basketball, you play football, and your coach is saying the giving you the same play back to back, he's not going to call a timeout to draw the play again. You just ran the play. You're just going to repeat the same play because you already ran the play. You know the play is coming. You know what's going on. So for those men, if you see the play coming and you fall into it, whose fault is it? And I would say the same thing for ladies. If you see the play coming, if you see a man who's only texting you at certain times of the day, who doesn't call you, who only calls you at certain times for certain things, who's not taking you out, it shouldn't be an okie doke when you realize that you were second choice. Or no choice at even all. Like, why is this a surprise when those things, if that man is not doing sweet things for you, if the man wasn't opening doors or buying you flowers and all of that stuff, and all of a sudden you're mad because he didn't do those things, but you still gave him the patty patty woo pop. That's not his problem. He took what you gave him. So gentlemen, it's not her fault that you keep taking her to dinner and not caring the fact that she doesn't give two craps about, she doesn't ever ask you questions about yourself. She takes pictures of the food and you're not in it. Like all of those different things, that's on you. I'm sorry, like that's just not, we got to do better and take accountability for our own actions. But I don't want to go on too much because Twins dropped a few gems and I don't think I'm going to be able to top those for the night. So I am going to ask Mr. Since you are on, and I love when you give dating tips, give us a dating tip for the night from Mr. and go.
I don't know if I gave this as a dating tip before, but I have said this. I said, if a woman actually likes you, she's not going to require you to do a whole lot of stuff. And that includes taking her on all these fancy dates and stuff.
That's true.
That is, I couldn't agree more. Twins, dating tip.
Dating tip. I got this one. I got one today.
Ooh!
Ladies, dating tip from Twins. Do not. Hold on. Let me get this right. Because I had it. I mean, I got it. I want to say it right. Ladies, dating tip. Do not give your man expectations for something that, one, you never discussed to him about.
Mm-hmm.
Two, that was never done for you. Okay? So I'm gonna say that again. Do not give your man, don't tell your man expectations for something that you never talked about. So let me give you a quick example. Don't tell me that you would like flowers, but we never talked about flowers. I don't know what kind of flower you like. Only thing I know of you like is like, I know your favorite color, which is cool. But outside your favorite color, I have no clue about flowers that you may want, that you never bought. I have never seen. I want to hear about, you never bought me flowers. When did the hell did that conversation even come up anywhere? And then on top of that, whoever bought you flowers? And if you can't give me an answer, I'm like, well, don't bring that shit to me then. If I'm gonna do something for you, it's something that I want to do for you, not something you want me to do for you, but you never put a bug in my ear to kind of set the expectation for me so I can do it for you. So every man does things differently as far as being romantic. But if you never had those conversations with him, don't, in an argument, don't bring it up time about, well, you never thought about this. And I won't. Because it was never, the seed was never planted for me to even think about it. So that's the dating tip I have. Do not have expectation that you never brought to somebody in the first place. Oh, land my plane.
You sure did. I definitely plant my seeds. I sprinkle and water them. So I'm good to go. My dating tip is a simple one. We talked about it a lot, especially last season. Communication. Communication is the key to a successful relationship. Communication is the key to a successful partnership. communication is the key to a successful friendship. You need to communicate. And that's essentially what these two gentlemen have been saying all night. And it's about communication. There's a lot of miscommunication that can happen in relationships, and miscommunication happens when there wasn't communication in the first place. So I think that's where I would leave it. My last thing, other than the dating tip, would be let's try to come up with solutions, people. Like, I get it. I think it's the clickbait. It's much easier to go and write and talk about all the bad things that men are, ladies, and all the terrible things that women are doing, men online. But at the end of the day, I really did create this show, and I talk about it. And the reason twins join me is we really are on a mission to change the conversation, specifically around Black relationships, right? That's what we speak to. So let's think about what the solutions are. We get it. Dating has changed. The landscape has changed. Things are different than they were before. They're going to be. Everything has changed. But how do we get it back to a place that we can have successful, long-lasting, fruitful Black relationships? That's what we're going to talk about every single week. So if you're going to come to the show, you're going to comment, you're going to come on, you're going to click the link. Be prepared to talk about, what do we do differently? How do we do things differently? And how do we stop the things that we're doing? So that is my last comments. Mr. Do you want to have any final comments before you jump off?
No final comments. I think we did some good work here.
Yes.
To leave it at that.
I love that. And we appreciate you coming on and being such a supporter. And I'm glad I didn't take the show past your bedtime, because Mr. said 9:30, a 9:30 start. We can't do that past my bedtime. So 9 o'clock was a good compromise for Mr.
Yep.
and everybody online here. Twins, any final words before we jump off?
Nope. I think I dropped enough gems today. I'm good. Everyone have a good night.
Thank you, everybody. Mr. I'm just going to take you off the stage here, remove you from the stage, and we are going to say good night to you all. Bye-bye.